Good morning and welcome to Roslyn Hill Chapel, a spiritual community based in Hampstead, North London. My name is Shana, and together with Ingrid, Tavkar and Roseberry, I'm pleased to offer the service today. Let us begin our gathering by focusing on our breathing, bringing awareness to its natural rhythm. Noticing the tempo and depth of your breath. Moving your awareness to your chest and abdomen. Inviting a sense of relaxation. Releasing any tension, allowing it to leave your body with each breath. Becoming aware of the beating of our own hearts. Let us enter this sacred space that we create together with gratitude. Grateful for the people around us, for friends and family, chosen and given. And at this time of uncertainty, grief, anger, accepting that it's okay to feel all these things. In this space, we can surrender all our greatest hopes and all our sadness and pain, and know that we are surrounded and held with love and compassion. Let us continue by lighting a candle together and taking time to reflect. As the nights get longer and the days shorter, let us seek the light within by contemplating on this flame, or through your mind's eye, the image of a candle flame. Noticing how the soft, quiet, and gentle flame tamely rises from the wick. Yet just by touching a dry twig, it has the power to become a raging bonfire to light up the night. Let this little candle flame be your friend this morning, allowing it to quiet your mind as you attentively watch its flickering glow, allowing it to calm your mind in a way that brings a stillness that can light up the interior of your being, that can help you find the wellspring of your feelings. Allow it to warm us, reflecting on the ways we've been touched and the ways we've opened our hearts, and inspire us through making new connections and discovering new insights. May this simple flame touch the dry twigs that guard our hearts, allowing the power of the light to penetrate our self-protection. And show us that the amazing potential for heat and light that resides within us. Now let us sing our first hymn, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life.
We are a self-funded independent charity and always grateful for any contributions to support our ongoing work. If you would like to make a donation, you can do this by clicking on the donate button on our website or through our Just Giving page. Thank you for your generous contributions and the many ways you may be supporting our chapel community. I'm happy to welcome Ingrid now to lead us in a meditation.
Meditation for renewal. Meditation for a fresh start. For any time when you need to press the reset button and begin again, refreshed and rejuvenated, and generate renewal in body and in mind, clearing negativity and creating space for new opportunities and growth. I invite you to sit upright with your legs uncrossed and your hands resting in your lap. You may like to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. Relax your body. Center yourself. Release any expectations you may have of this meditation. Now take your time to breathe in slowly through the nose. Pause for a second and slowly breathe out through your mouth. Again, breathe in slowly through the nose. Pause and slowly breathe out. One more time. Breathe in through the nose, a smooth and easy, slow breath. Pause, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Now breathe effortlessly without trying to control the breathing in any way. Now open yourself to a sense of renewal. Renewal in body and mind. Let your awareness drift towards springtime, where regeneration is obvious, when nature is beginning to drift into new life. And even if it's not spring right now, there is always growth around us, constantly creating and renewing, a continuous ebb and flow. Now reflect on situations in your life that you no longer need, situations that are ready to be refreshed and renewed. Look at relationships, friendships, habits, and old thought processes. And ask yourself, does this habit, this situation, create happiness within me? And if not, can you begin to release that and make space for renewal, for growth? Now imagine a snowy landscape spread out in front of you into a cold winter scene. Bring to mind any of your thoughts or personal beliefs that keep you stuck. And then see the winter scene beginning to slowly change. As the sun starts to break through with the arrival of spring, the snow begins to melt. And as it melts, it seems that everything you no longer need, habits or negative beliefs, whatever is old and stale, it is as if that too melts away with the snow. Melting, disappearing. Time to release it and let it go. Anything that is no longer relevant for you. And now focus on a fresh start. As the landscape around you and beyond you is filled with new growth, new blades of grass, bird song, new life springing up. Imagine now planting seeds of positive intentions into the fertile place of renewal. Seeds of your intentions placed into the fresh soil of the mind and into every cell of the body. Positive intentions taking root and growing, becoming real. Now welcome any feelings or emotions that may arise as you imagine your renewal happening right now. How does it feel? Rest with this feeling of renewal and growth, observing the sense of regeneration in body and in mind. Sensing the body breathing naturally and resting in the renewal of each new breath. New breath in and out. The renewal of each peaceful breath. You may find your mind drifts away from this awareness about your breathing. And that is perfectly natural. Again and again, bringing your awareness back to simply resting on the wave of your breathing. Each breath naturally bringing rejuvenation to the body without you needing to do anything. Now rest in this space of renewal for a moment, simply focusing on your breathing, renewing, refreshing, observing your breathing. Slowly bringing yourself back now to your physical body and a sense of feeling clarity, of feeling renewal, of new beginning, with a smile on your face. Every sunrise is a renewed day. Every breath is a new opportunity for new thoughts and different actions. In your own time, stretch your fingers, stretch your toes, and slowly move your head from side to side. Slowly stretch your arms above your head. Take time to waken the body. And in the day or week ahead of you, take this awareness of renewal with you. There is potential for renewal and growth in any waking moment, every hour and every day, simply by creating the intention of renewal and finding freshness in your daily life. May your meditation practice bring you a new sense of purpose, creating a meaningful life for yourself and for the benefit of those around you. Namaste.
We come now to a time of for honoring any joys or concerns we may be holding in our hearts at this time by lighting a candle. I'm pleased to welcome Rose to offer her reflection. Rose is an accredited health and life coach and works to help people change their perception of fear in order to live a more enjoyable, fulfilling and meaningful life.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for welcoming me to share a reflection with you today. My name is Rose Berry. I am a health and life coach and the founder of My Friend Fear, which is a coaching business with a mission to support individuals with social anxiety and to give them the confidence to speak in public. Today, I wanted to open up a conversation around fear and how through strengthening the relationship that we have with fear will enable us to shift our perspectives so that we can look forward to the future with more hope and optimism. I want to thank Dana for bringing us all together this morning with the theme, refreshing our spirits, and the intention to rejuvenate ourselves for the months ahead. To get started, I'm just curious to know, when I mention the word fear, what thoughts come up to you? And you can type these into the chat box if you wish, or you can write these down on a piece of paper, or just take a moment to reflect on what sort of associations you make when you hear the word fear. How does it make you feel? What other emotions come up for you? Just to explain a bit about me, it was my personal relationship with fear which led me to do the work that I do now. I was once so terrified of public speaking that I avoided presentations at university, even though they were a compulsory part of my degree. I skipped classes because I was too afraid to speak up in front of my peers, and I potentially missed out on life-changing opportunities. I didn't know how I'd get anywhere with my career or my life. I was so afraid to speak in front of others that I could barely say my own name. But one day something shifted in me. I actually didn't realize that what I was experiencing was fear. I thought there was just something wrong with me. I thought I was alone, strange, and incurable. It wasn't until a GP explained to me that I had social anxiety that everything started to make sense. I began to understand why I got so nervous when I moved school age 16 and found myself struggling to make friends. I understood why each time I was thrown into a new social situation with a new job or starting university that I felt so out of place. I had social anxiety. This revelation had a life-changing effect on me. Hearing those words helped me end my 5-year battle with depression and started me on a journey of transforming my relationship with fear. I wanted to find the confidence to share my story so that I could help others who were going through the same. Along this journey, I realized where I'd been going wrong. Every time I had a fear attack, I tried to force it away, to push it down inside my body so that it wouldn't appear. but this constant resisting made it grow. It was causing me to panic even more. In the end, what worked was allowing myself to be present with fear, to allow it to show up and be okay with it. Even in this moment, I feel fear, but I'm okay. So how can this story lend itself to the future ahead for each of us? The spread of the coronavirus has no doubt been a fearful time for all of us, affecting each of us in different ways. Words like lockdown, pandemic, self-isolation, the new normal, these are powerful words which add to the fear, the uncertainty, and the loneliness which has been experienced by all of us at some point during the past few months. But what if we can shift our perspective? What if we can see these words as just words and take away some of their meaning? How might that help us in the weeks ahead? Perhaps if we understood more about fear, we might find some new ways to manage our own. Fear is our body's way of alerting us to danger, to prepare us for attack. That's why our bodies tremble, our hands sweat, and I know some of you have mentioned some of the other things, the racing heart, the tightness in your chest, the sweating. This is our body's way of responding to threat. But not all threats that our bodies receive are real, and yet our brain interprets real threats and false threats in the same way. This is why when it comes to things like public speaking, we might feel sick or feel our stomach churn because our digestive system is shutting down so that other organs can work harder to protect us. Now, our minds recognize that the virus is a threat, but it's tricky because we can't see it. We can see a tiger running towards us, but we can't say the same for COVID. So the fear is actually being created by the thought of the virus. The fear that this thing that we can't see might affect us or people we know. And this constant worrying can really impact our mental health, which is why I wanted to talk about this subject this morning, to alleviate some of the worry that you and I have most probably been experiencing in the previous weeks, and to look to the future with excitement, opportunity, and a fresh perspective. I used to hear it being said that fear was the enemy, but for me, it's actually the opposite. I've learned to see fear as a friend, albeit an overprotective one, who tried its best to warn me against danger. When something that I usually find scary comes up, like a presentation, fear is there to check in and see if I'm okay, to give me a boost of energy and to keep me on my toes in case something does happen. When we view fear in this way, as a friend, it diminishes its power. The more we try and fight with fear, the bigger it grows and the more control it has over us. The more we welcome it in and allow ourselves to be with it and to put a hand on our heart and say, I am nervous, I am afraid, but I am okay. The more we put the power and control over how we feel and respond to situations back into our hands. So what's all this got to do with refreshing our spirits and reconfiguring ourselves for the journey ahead? Well, how we interpret fear in the world around us dictates how we feel more so than the events in the world themselves. How we view the world is our own interpretation, our own perception, and that can be changed. Whilst the facts remain in place, we can change our viewpoint. Yes, there is a virus. We've experienced a pandemic like never before in our lifetime. We've been in self-isolation, socially distanced, and we've been told that we're entering the new normal. But how much of this is fact and how much is just an interpretation, someone else's perspective? How can we change our own perspective so that the future looks less difficult? As a health and life coach, my job is to help people expand what they think is possible for themselves. The people I work with have ideas about how they want their life to look, but something or multiple things are getting in the way. These things are driven by thoughts and beliefs which are altering their perception of what they think they can achieve. Fear is showing up and is literally stopping them in their tracks. So imagine what would be possible for them if fear wasn't getting in the way. What's possible for you? What goals do you want to achieve in the weeks and months ahead? How do you want your future to look? Whilst we can't change what is happening in the world right now, we can change how we view the situation. We can change our perspective. And today, that's what I invite you to do. I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself these 3 questions. The first is, what is my current perspective? How am I currently seeing the world? The second is, if I could change my perspective so that 3 months from now, I'm living life fully, what would that look like for me? And the third is, what's one small action I can take today that will bring me one step closer to that future version of me?
as we welcome the autumn months, it feels to me like a good time for reflection, as well as an opportunity to invite in renewal. Autumn offers a chance to shift focus to our depths, looking to what nourishment we can find within. If we look to nature, we can see this, the trees letting go of leaves and focusing on their roots. Yes, the days are beginning to get darker, but the darker it is, the brighter the stars seem to shine. The more hopeless and black the night, the better the contrast is, even with just one tiny twinkle. Of course, there are times when our own light goes out, and I'd like to suggest that we foster some feel-good habits, perhaps giving thanks each day, cooking from scratch, checking in on someone, which in turn makes us feel good. Finding something you love to do and aiming to do it each day or a few times a week. Giving yourself a small treat that inspires gratitude. For example, a scented candle-lit bath. Just a little something for you. Some of us may be grieving for life as we knew it 6 months ago and wondering how we get back to it. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." Following on from what Rose has shared, I suggest we look towards shaping life a little differently, with a new sense of hope and wonder. I always like to come back to something the late Professor Stephen Hawking said on not giving up. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. And however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. I invite you now to consider what was significant for you over the past 6 months. It might be the lesson or lessons you learned, big or small. It might be something that surprised you the most. An important thing you did for others. Or maybe for yourself. And as we look forward, what are 3 things you would like to achieve in the coming months? Something you wish to do each day, places you'd like to visit, even if it's virtual. Connecting or reconnecting with loved ones. Thank you for giving your company, sharing your inner light, and for the love that you give each other. And now let's sing our closing hymn. as we go forward into the shorter days to come, may you go into the night blessed, sheltered, and protected. May the light of your soul guide you. May it be so.